What's up, guys? And we're going to be looking at the dev interview that happened over on It's Guest Gaming's channel last week. And we're going to be breaking down all the different topics that were talked about and give you a recap of what happened there. Now, if you want to see a full interview, the link will be in the description, where guests sat down with Lyra for an hour and a half talking through all of the stuff with Mirrorverse. Now, we've taken a look at that video several times now, so after hours and hours and hours on this video,
one eternity later,
I've been able to break down a few of the big topics that I want to show you guys. So let's just jump into the first section where Guest was talking to Lyra about a few characters and if we're going to be seeing them in the Mirrorverse anytime soon.
You have to answer in 2 or less words. That's the challenge. All right, here we go. Ready? Okay. Jack Skellington.
I don't understand the question, and I won't respond to it.
Okay. Okay. Is he going to be available for global launch players anytime soon?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Yes. Hades, same question.
Yep. I can do it in 1 word. Yes.
Okay, fine. Tron.
Maybe later.
Okay.
Maybe later.
Jafar.
Who?
Jafar's
No comment.
awesome.
Got it. Okay.
It's cool.
Now that we know we are going to be seeing Jack Skellington pretty soon, and I know everybody's super excited about this, well, they had an update around famed crystals and how they're going to work.
What I can say is in the short term, our team is working on a way to help somewhat solve that particular problem, where you've opened crystals for a famed guardian like Simba, and you just haven't unlocked Simba at all. Giving a way to sort of like guarantee that you can at least unlock Simba, that you can know that you're working towards the ability to do that. Particularly through the objective system, which if like early in the game, the objective system will help you unlock guardians like Merida and things like that. So going through that objective system to give players an opportunity to work towards specifically a guarantee of getting that famed guardian during their event is something we're working on for the short term. Now, short term doesn't mean like next month. It might be a couple months away until you see something like that. But I did want to assure everyone that we understand that problem and we understand how it feels and that we're working on a way to help.
So you guys heard it. We're going to get guaranteed event guardians in the upcoming events. Now, again, we don't know exactly when that is. It could be a couple months away or something like that. But the fact that they are acknowledging that it's hard to get these guardians sometimes with these crystals is awesome, that we're going to have a guaranteed somehow within the event to at least unlock the guardians. Now, beyond that, they made one other change that they talked about with the Stardust store. And this one, I think, is going to be really big for most people. So if you guys know, when you get these characters in the events, the only way to really increase their stars is eventually to get the event again, or, you know, a couple months later, them show up in the common pool. So instead, what they're going to be doing is a couple weeks after this event ends and the famed crystals go away, they're going to be putting them in the Stardust store. So that's going to be pretty huge. You're going to be able to get these event guardians leveled up without having to only get the famed crystals. So I'm pretty excited about that, especially to get my Zerg well beyond 5-star, which I'm pretty sure took me over 50 famed crystals just to get him to 5 stars. All right, guys, so we talked a lot about characters and different things like that. And another big section that was in this interview was the play modes of the Mirrorverse. Now, I'm going to start it off with the one that everybody wants to know about. Yeah, that's Rift Raids. So here's the clip of guests talking with Lyra about Rift Raids and trying to get us a little more information than what we already have. Then we'll talk about the other ones that they mentioned in the interview as well.
Can you tell us anything that we don't already know?
That you don't already know, yes. So for those who kind of saw our early hints about Rift Raids that happened around worldwide launch in the like in our worldwide launch video, so Rift Raids is coming. It's a new game mode. It has its own type of energy. I'll give you everyone that little hint. It's a competitive, collaborative mode where you'll work together with your alliance to progress. There are leaderboards, so there's a competitive aspect within your alliance and with other alliances.
Okay.
And yeah, and keep an eye out really soon, and I mean it when I say soon, like in 2 weeks, everyone, that there's going to be a lot more information shared.
Yeah, they had us in the first half. We were really expecting to say something with that 2 weeks, but it's just more information. Now, I do think this is pretty important because if you guys haven't looked at a calendar, 2 weeks is D23. Now, I will be live streaming D23 during the game announcement, so make sure to check me out on Twitch. Down below, I'll have the link to the Twitch, and we'll be doing that whole thing live, just chatting about it and all the stuff that they're going to be announcing. Not just Mirrorverse, Marvel Snap, all the other games that are going on with Disney, and I'm pretty excited about that. So that's right, guys. 2 weeks from now, they're going to be announcing all kind of stuff with the Rift Raids, and I can't wait to see what they're going to give us when that information drops. So moving out of Rift Raids, we have a couple different events coming in, and well, one of them first is going to be dungeons. So guests ask about the crystal dungeons that happen in beta and things like that. We didn't really get an answer around that, but we did say that we're going to get some specialized dungeons coming back, just like we saw with Oogie Boogie, and well, one of them may be Pixar. So make sure you get those Pixar teams going up. We do have a new Pixar character coming in with Violet, and if you team her up with her dad and a few other things, you may have a pretty good team. So just make sure you're working on those Pixar characters. So moving on from dungeons, we have towers, and Lyra kind of asked the question to us, what kind of traits do we want to see on a new tower? It didn't sound like a definitive yes or no based on what's coming in pretty soon, but she did kind of say that it's on the horizon. We'll get some more towers as we go through. The 4 that are there are not the only ones that are only going to be there, but no real answer on what trait we're going to see next. Now, honestly, guest brought up Goofball. I think that could be a pretty good tower. You're really going to use Simba just like you do with a royalty tower. And, even Pixar. Pixar can make a pretty good tower. And maybe after that dungeon, we'll see if we can find a pretty good team. So outside of the obvious dungeons and towers, there was a lot of other stuff that was thrown around. Maybe a testing environment so you can do 3v3 just like we have with a 1v1. Also PvP. It was brought up. No real definitive answer. Lyra did mention that the devs know about these requests and they're all pretty interesting. But at this point, raids are the main focus. These Rift Raids are what they want to get out next. And then after that, we'll just have to see where they go. And as always, these videos are really more of a conversation, guys. So leave a comment below and tell me what kind of tower do you want to see based on trait and what team would you want to use. Again, I want to give a big shout out to Lyra for doing this again, sitting down with just the KCP and the community and answering questions and giving us more insight. It's always awesome when they're doing that for us. And as always, guys, make sure you hit that sub button if you're not subbed, leave a comment like I mentioned before, and maybe hit that like button. Now, we should have a lot of content coming out this week, including a breakdown of Dory and Violet. So be on the lookout for that dropping on Thursday as Dory enters the Mirrorverse and we can finally start playing with her in all these different modes. So I appreciate you guys for supporting the Dan Cave and hanging out with me. And as always, guys, y'all take it easy.